Okay, so here, Mr. Gheorghiu, we are back in 1968 when
Yeah, we have a very beautiful game played by Botvinnik himself. Botvinnik, of course, was one of the biggest stars of the chess world, in that time. He was 3 times world champion, the father, of course, of the Soviet chess school and so on. And it was a very important tournament in that time, the Grand Prix from Monaco in Monte Carlo, of course. And that was, in this tournament, we played our first and last game. I mean, I played Botvinnik only once because of his age. Afterwards, he retired. And we had a very interesting game between ourselves. We did.
Yes, you
we
had a
show
draw.
it.
You had a draw with
we
him.
had a draw, and finally, a little bit after our game, he proposed to be my
Coach.
My coach. And unfortunately, the Romanian Chess Federation refused, and we didn't have this chance. It was a very good chance, to become stronger. Let's say, to have a better career, because in that time I was the youngest grandmaster of the world. I mean, it was a very good chance. Okay, but coming back to this game, he played against the well-known grandmaster from Hungary, the legendary grandmaster Portisch, probably the best player ever for Hungary. And it was a very nice game. Finally, I'm sure that was home analysis. We'll see. Because the game will be full of sacrifices, a little bit unusual for Botvinnik, of course, for his style, yes. And a very important game, theoretically, and finally it was, all over the world, like like this, So after knight takes d5, bishop g2, everything is theory until now. Bishop d2, bishop e6 is the English opening, like this. Okay, castle. And here knight b6 and d3. Okay, d3, bishop e7, a3. White is preparing b4, of course, immediately if possible. No? So of course a5 doesn't let you. And now bishop e3, and here he played castle. Okay, castle. And after knight a4, here it starts. Well, here the alternative is to play knight. After knight a4, yes, knight a4, he took, I think, in a4 now, which is not the best.
Yeah, he took.
Yeah, the best move probably is to play here knight d5 back. And maybe white is a little bit better after bishop c5, but it's not very clear. It's okay. White is a little bit better. But after knight takes a4, the game will be very tactical, and white is clearly better, after queen takes a4. Bishop d5, okay. After bishop d5, rook takes rook fc1, and rook e8, rook c2, of course, and bishop fa, rook c1. Well, until here it's clear home analysis. Not very complicated, but white is
preparation.
Well, white is clearly better here. Let's say, very difficult to do something to have an even game. You see. So maybe it was still possible, I'm not sure, to play instead of bishop, knight f8 in my opinion, knight b8 in my opinion is a mistake, But if not, what could he play? It was very interesting, in my opinion, to play here immediately e4. E4, maybe it's okay, If he has time to consolidate the position, 2-3 moves like this, it's still playable for black, So what to do? I mean, black is not lost here. It's very difficult to do something to show that black is, has a very bad position. But after e4 is complicated, and maybe black resists, it's not clear. Because if you take in e4, if he can take also with the bishop is all right, But he can take maybe even with the rook. But with the bishop is okay. It's a little bit better for white, but not clear why and how, you see. Okay. But instead, Portisch had here a very strange idea. He came back with the knight. He wants to play here later on c6. If he has time to play c6, it's all right, But he has no time, because probably he considered that it's very risky for white to take the pawn, because he comes back with the piece in c6, and then he has time to
Take the rook.
To take the rook. But everything comes with tempo. It's very dangerous for black because everything comes with tempo, very strong attack,
So he invited white.
He invited him to play tactically, but okay, white accepted, and we have beauty prize later on because of this, Of course, Botvinnik took the piece. He took the pawn, and after bishop c6, he sacrificed in c6. Now he's forced. If he takes back with the knight, after rook takes b7, he has 2 pawns for exchange and probably winning position. Not very easy, but probably winning. Okay, so he took back with the pawn, and after b takes e7, now big surprise, very easy, but very beautiful. Now everything is forced. Now if you take back the rook, after knight queen c4 check and knight g5, you are lost in every position. And that wins immediately,
Yeah.
After queen d5, you lose the queen after knight g5 check, forced. So what to do now? If you don't have that time to take in f7, it's catastrophic for black, So well, here he would resign already with black, And now, after rook b7, look at the position. The black position is destroyed, in a few moves.
Yeah.
But he destroyed himself, by playing knight b8.
Yes. Yeah.
He invited his opponent to... Well, probably he thought that Botvinnik doesn't like to sacrifice a piece or something, Or maybe he underestimated white's chances.
Yes.
And he accepted to play such a position. Now, of course, it's much too late. So, and after queen c8, of course, queen c4 check. And now the last surprise, which is also very easy to find, knight h4. And of course, beauty prize. Now what to do? You have to take the rook. So check, king, and now bishop e4. Well, terrible. White gave 2 rooks, but wins, in every position. You are completely lost in every position. So now check. Now g6, well, everything is destroyed. Bishop takes, takes. And now again, the last blow, Bishop takes, of course, you lose every piece.
He resigned here.
He resigned. Well, it's very easy, but it's very beautiful. Now you have to take, of course, and now after queen h4 check, you are mated or you lose every piece. And now check in h7, no?
In h7?
In h7, yes. And after king f6, knight g4 check. If you go to g5, it's queen h5 mate. Queen h5 mate.
h5. Here?
Yeah. Terrible, of course.
Beautiful. Terrible and beautiful.
Terrible and beautiful. And he's, he did it, suicide. He did it himself with black, He
didn't expect everything to crumble.
Well, he didn't expect, of course, but playing against such a player like Botvinnik, you can expect, of course, or any other, top player like this, He's not world champion for nothing. Of course, he can find such a way.
So when Botvinnik was sacrificing, you knew that's it.
No, he did it rarely, but when he had such a position, of course, he sacrificed. No, of course.
He couldn't.
Any top grandmaster would sacrifice in such a position. No? But anyway, the game was excellent. Very beautiful game.
Thank you, Mr. Gheorghiu, for showing us this game.
Yeah.